guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. Firstly, Xavi wants to bring in a top center back in the summer, and his ideal choice is to bring in Jules Koundé, but the club want to prioritize free agents in the center back department and are looking at Christensen and Azpilicueta as reinforcements. But of course, from now on to the summer, contract renewals are the priorities for Barcelona. Araujo, Gavi, Roberto, and maybe even Nico are the four players the club want to tie down on new contracts before the summer comes around. But also a big surprise around Barcelona is that the CEO of the club, Reverter, has announced his resignation as the CEO and will be leaving the club as soon as Laporta can find a replacement. Now, of course, that has come as a huge surprise to the whole entire, Barcelona fan base. Now, the big question is, was there, internal debates at the club? Was there any drama in the boardroom that Juan Laporta and Fernand not get on too well? We had the details about that. And lastly, Barcelona have reached an agreement with Spotify to become the new sponsor of the club for the next 3 seasons. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 300 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also make sure you hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. And let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 24 hours. Now, we've been linked with a lot of center backs over the past 24 hours because apparently Xavi's priority in the summer is to bring in a center back. Of course, the club wants Erling Haaland. They want the striker, and of course Xavi would accept that as well. But Xavi himself wants a center back. Firstly, coming in from Sport, Dave came out saying that Xavi wants a top center back and insists on Jules Koundé. A possible deal is more than complicated. His release clause is 80 million euros and Sevilla want nothing less, and Barcelona believe that Koundé would prefer them over Chelsea. So of course Chelsea have been heavily with Koundé over the past few months or so. I would take Koundé at Barcelona for sure, I would, but not for that price. I'm thinking like 50 million, something like that. I think anything above 60 for Koundé is overpriced, and of course, as you all know, all the money we have will be going towards Erling Haaland. And if that Erling Haaland deal fails, then we'll see. If I'm spending 80 plus on a center back, I'd rather get De Ligt than bringing Koundé, because of course Koundé, you never know. I think De Ligt coming to Barcelona, 100% he'll be successful. With Koundé, it's still a 50-50, and of course he's French as well. We all know about the French players at Barcelona, so wait and see. But if Barcelona are going to sign a center back, most likely it will be a free agent center back, and there's a lot available right now, and of course we've been linked with a lot of them over the past 24 hours. Firstly is Soulé. His agent came out in the media saying the new club for Soulé has already been decided. He made his decision, and he would be surprised if anything changes his mind from now until the contract is signed. So when I first saw this, I'm thinking it's not Barcelona. If it was Barcelona, it would have already leaked by now. So he's probably going to, I don't know, Chelsea, Juventus, something like that. He went to Dortmund. I mean, it is what it is. I don't really care, of course. I would have taken him at Barcelona, but who goes from Bayern Munich to Dortmund in your prime on a free deal? Makes no sense. But anyways, Soulé went to Bayern Munich. It's already been official and confirmed by now. And of course, Ronaldo came out confirming it a few minutes before it was, official. But he also came out saying that Dortmund won Andreas Christensen, but there was no agreement. Barcelona and Bayern Munich are still pushing to sign him. So Dortmund originally wanted Christensen as that free agent center back, but in the end he was too expensive, so they went for Soulé. And in the end, they got their man. Now, also Juan Martin from Sport came out saying that Soulé was on Barcelona's agenda, but the club is leaning more towards Azpilicueta and Christensen. Like I said, we've been linked with these two players for the past few months, on and off the whole time. Azpilicueta for me, if he does not renew with Chelsea, 100% he's coming to Barcelona. With Christensen, it's going to be difficult because, of course, he's asking for a lot of money. Bayern Munich not going to be pushing because they need a center back because Soulé just left. They want to bring in a free one. That way, they don't have to spend any money. Bada bing, bada boom. And, of course, we're hearing that Juventus are interested as well. But Christensen is like Rudiger, like all the other free center backs that are, decent. They are asking for a lot of money, and Barcelona do not want to pay that. So I think Christensen's deal is very, very complicated. But Azpilicueta, I've said this before, if he does not renew with Chelsea, I think 99% he's set in stone to come join Barcelona. So wait and see. But again, in that free agent center back department, Christensen and Azpilicueta are the two priorities for Barcelona. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, on the contract renewal of Ronaldo Araujo, firstly coming in from Gerardo Romero, he came out saying Araujo believes that his future is at Barcelona and wants to renew his contract. He had a problem with one of his agents due to some of the information that was leaked in the media. Since then, he has gotten rid of that agent, and also Araujo continues to make it clear to his agent that he only wants to stay at Barcelona. The club remains calm. The agent has received some offers from England, but Araujo for now only wants to stay at Barcelona. But We got the big news from Mundo Deportivo last night saying that the contract extension of Araujo is well underway. The renewal is in the final stretch and both parties are optimistic, and negotiations are ongoing and will continue over the next week or so. But Barcelona want to close his renewal by the end of February, which of course I think pretty much is mission impossible. I think hopefully we will get it done. Mundo Deportivo continue on by saying that Araujo wants to make a career at Barcelona and has informed this to his representatives, who are obviously working to try to get the best conditions for the player. No disrespect there whatsoever. Barcelona for their part have improved the conditions, although they were far from the offers from England. Araujo prefers to stay at Barcelona, the club that gave him the chance to establish himself among the lead center backs in the world. Some details such as the duration of the contract remain open. The proposal they're working on is a 5-year deal until June 2027, although it's not completely closed quite yet. He has bought a house in Barcelona recently, became a father, and feels loved and respected by his teammates and the fans. We cannot lose this player. The club right now have to get these players on new contracts. We'll talk about the other ones, of course. We haven't been doing too well with renewals, as I've been saying now for the past few videos. We have to tie him down. The player wants to stay. He has tripled the offers coming in from England. He does not care about that. He wants a good offer from Barcelona. That's all they have to do, offer a decent contract, and he'll accept it. The problem is right now the club are kind of, trying to tippy-toe their way up to the top. They're offering, let's say, $5 a week, then they're gonna go 10, then 15, then Araujo will accept it. Of course, Chelsea and them are all offering, $50 a week. It's gonna be, a big difference. But all Araujo wants from the club is to show commitment. It's to show, that he's a valuable player in the team. So I have to wait and see. Again, the club are optimistic. They want to finish the contract renewal by this month, which hopefully is the case. But with Barcelona, you never know. I think they're pretty slow on renewal, so I don't think it'll be done by this month, but hopefully it is. But again, Araujo is the priority for renewals right now at Barcelona. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Pablo Gavi, firstly coming in from Mundo Deportivo. They've come out saying that Barcelona and Gavi's agents, who have been talking for a long time, have scheduled a meeting very soon to advance the renewal talks. The intention of reaching an agreement is now, and Gavi wants to stay despite interest from other clubs. Mateo Morita from Sky Sports said that Gavi's contract renewal is getting closer. A meeting between Barcelona and his agent will take place very soon to seal the final agreement. Candacer came out saying that Gavi's contract renewal is pretty close. Some small details are missing, and the player's willingness to stay has been key. The intention is to renew him until June 2027 with the €1 billion release clause. Again, we cannot lose Gavi. I think Gavi will stay, but for me, this should have been done back in October. We were talking with Gavi since October, and now it's February. We still haven't even gotten the deal done yet. I don't know why this club is so slow in renewals, man, but in the world of football now, renewals are getting more and more difficult. We're also hearing that Liverpool want to activate his release clause right now of €40 million. Clubs are going to come in for him. If we don't renew him, I'd say in the next few months, when we get 1 month before the summer transfer window, clubs start talking to Gavi saying, look, we're going to activate your release clause. You want to come to us. And he'll start thinking, oh, look, a lot of money, big club. It's going to make his head turn. So we have to renew the contract of both Araujo and Gavi as soon as possible. But there is some hope. Javi Miguel from AES, very, very close to Xavi. He came out saying that Araujo and Gavi have promised Xavi that they will renew their contracts. Calmness and patience is needed. So this is what we're saying. Of course, Javi Miguel, very, very close to Xavi. Basically, what he puts in the media is coming from Xavi. And we're hearing right now that Araujo and Gavi have told Xavi, we promise to renew our contract. But of course, we have to reach an agreement. It can't just go, in 2 days and that's it, which I understand. But the Gavi one should have been done back in November. Araujo, of course, you can take your time. We just started now in January. No problem with that. But the club have to renew these two players. We'll have to wait and see. Time will only tell, but these two players are the absolute priority before the summer to renew their contracts. And the final contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Sergi Roberto, who of course right now is not a priority in any way, shape, or form. Candacer came out saying that Barcelona and Sergi Roberto's agents plan to meet over the next few days. They left the renewal on standby until the end of the transfer window and want to reactivate the talks now. If Roberto renews, it will 100% be with the lower salary. Of course, right now Roberto reportedly earning around 200k a week. The club are offering around 80 to 100,000 euros, but Roberto wants around 150,000 euros. I mean, if he wants 150k, he can jog on, he can leave for free, I couldn't care less. But there are reports coming out saying that Xavi has confidence in Sergi Roberto. He sees him playing the same role as Dani Alves, a fullback with a midfield mentality. Roberto has not renewed yet, but Xavi does have him in his plans, and the player will be back around April time. So of course, we all saw Dani Alves against Atletico Madrid where we were attacking. He was in the midfield alongside Busquets in that double pivot. When we were defending, he went back to right back, and he thinks Roberto can do that exact same role. I mean, Whatever. If you want to renew Roberto, whatever, I'll back Xavi. But there's no way he's earning more than 100,000 euros a week. He needs to be put on 80 plus bonuses or something like that. 2-year contract, keep it nice and short, because if he flops, he can leave easily. Roberto, of course, is his 30th birthday the other day. Happy birthday, Roberto. 4th captain of the club. He's coming near the end, and of course with that, Catalan veteran section with him, Busquets, Roberto, Jordi Alba. They are all coming to the end of their careers, and we should not be renewing them on long contracts. The club know that, and not on a lot of money as well. So it's up to Roberto. If you want to take, lower salary, shorter contract, you can stay at Barcelona, no problem with that. But if you want, proper money and a longer contract, you can hit the road. So wait and see what Roberto decides. Again, it's up to him. The club are offering a contract. It's up to him whether or not he wants to accept those conditions or not. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past 24 hours. Firstly, Barcelona have reached an agreement with their new sponsor, and it will be Spotify. Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying the agreement between Barcelona and Spotify for the sponsorship for the shirt and title race of the Camp Nou will be announced very, very soon, by the end of this week. Of course, as I'm recording this video, it has not been announced, but it could have been announced after I upload this video, which, my luck is probably the case. But Fernando Polo also came out saying that Barcelona are obligated to ratify the agreement with Spotify in the assembly to comply with the Article 20.9 of the statute. The same was done on December 18, 2016 with the sponsorship contract with Rakuten. So again, they'll have to call an assembly and get the approval from the Socis, which again 100% will happen. But again, this deal is going to be big for the club. But what are the exact numbers? Rack1 came out saying that Barcelona have closed a sponsorship agreement with Spotify for 280 million euros for 3 seasons. So it's not going to be a 5-year deal, 3 seasons, which of course, do the math, that's around 93.3 million euros per season. Right now we're getting around 30 million euros. So it's a 60, with of course the pandemic, as Rakuten reduced it, 60 million euro increase by the club. Fantastic work. It will include the shirt sponsor of the men's team, the women's team, the training shirt, and the title rights of the Camp Nou for next season as well. The idea is to sign it tomorrow. So of course, it has been announced as I'm uploading this video. But again, 3 seasons, the men's shirt, women's shirt, training kit, and name of the Camp Nou for 93.3 million euros per season, plus an option of another year. Big deal for the club. And I forgot to mention this in my last video, but the Spotify directors of the board were at the Atletico Madrid game. They were sitting there with the Barcelona board of directors, chatting it all up, watching the big win. So they were there for that. And of course, when they're there, that pretty much means the agreement is very, very close. And we are expecting an announcement anytime now. Spotify will be on the Barcelona shirt for next season for 3 more years after that. 280 million euros for the whole entire 3 years, so of course 90.3 million euros each season. Fantastic deal for Barcelona. But the biggest news around Barcelona over the past 24 hours has been that the CEO of Barcelona, Fernando Revert, leaves Barcelona due to personal and family reasons. He has handed in his resignation letter and will not be continuing as the CEO of Barcelona. Now this came out of absolutely nowhere. No one reported it, and of course we're hearing reports right now that the dressing room was also surprised as well. The dressing room had no idea about this. The CEO of Barcelona has indeed resigned. Now you might be wondering, what's the reason for it? Samuel Marsden and Moises Malors from ESPN came out saying there were a series of disagreements between the CEO Fernando Reverter and also the president Juan Laporta. The sponsorship deal with Spotify was the last straw for Ferran. So apparently, over this past 6 months, they disagreed on a lot of things, and in the end agreed the Spotify deal was the last final straw for him. Apparently Ferran wanted the cryptocurrency company, but Laporta said no, which is understandable. Apparently they left on good terms. They're not hating each other, and apparently Sport also came out saying that Roberto will continue as an internal advisor for Barcelona even after leaving his position as CEO of the club. So there's no beef. He's left because he doesn't really quite agree with what Laporta is doing, and also he will not leave until a new CEO comes in. He was still the CEO right now. Tomorrow he'll still be the CEO until Barcelona bring in a new CEO. He will still continue at the club. So again, he's announcing right now, I'm going to leave, find me a replacement for Juan Laporta, then I'll go. So no bad terms, but again, because it's a surprise, it's Juan Laporta doing stuff badly. Apparently Revert didn't want to spend money in January. He wanted to keep Messi, and everything has been going against him over the past 6 months. So in the end, he's gonna walk away and focus on his own business. Apparently he only came here as a favor for Laporta, 6 months, come and help the club and then leave. So it is what it is. He's still gonna stay as an internal advisor, and there's no drama, no beef whatsoever. But Ferran Revert will be leaving his position as CEO of Barcelona. Now the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is give you guys some fitness updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, for the red card of Dani Alves. He's going to be suspended for around 2 games. It's not official quite yet, but it's being leaked. It will be a 2-game suspension. So if you think about it, we will not see Dani Alves until March, because of course we have 4 games left this month, 2 in La Liga, which he's suspended for, 2 in the Europa League, which he's not on the squad list for. So no Dani Alves until I think the last day of February, maybe that last weekend. I think we play Athletic Club. He could be back for that game. I think we play Espanyol and then someone else, Valencia. So he will be suspended for those 2 games, and of course the 2 Napoli games. So no Dani Alves for the next about 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. That's what happens when you get the red card. So Dani Alves gets another little, 3 weeks vacation and won't be back until the final day of February against Athletic Club in La Liga. And we do have one injury update on Memphis Depay. Javi Miguel came out saying that Memphis Depay is getting closer to his return. Everything points to be ready for the Napoli game next week. So of course Depay has been out for around a month. I think the last game he played was the Clasico on January the 12th. He's been out for a month, and his incorporation will be important. Have someone good and strong off the bench, and also who can start in the team. And also that does mean that Jukla and Abdi can go back to Barca B and help them out. Right now they're like 2 points above relegation. They need all the help they can get, so that way Abdi and Jukla can go to Barca B. Depay, Luke de Jong, Braithwaite, Aubameyang will be on the bench of the first team. So again, Depay coming back from injury is of course good news for Barcelona. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to know firstly about that center back coming in. Who is your ideal choice? De Ligt, Koundé, would you rather get some free agents, Christensen, Azpilicueta, maybe someone else? Secondly, on the contract renewals. Of course, the club want to have them all done by the end of February. Do you think that's possible or not? Thirdly, on the Spotify deal, are you happy with it? Are you kind of, concerned it's only a 3-year deal instead of a 5-year deal? And lastly, on Ferran Revert quitting as the CEO of Barcelona, do you think there's, some internal troubles at the club? Do you think, what, he's not up to the job anymore? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.